All right, we're clapping this thing.
All right.
One take.
Got it.
And I'm gonna go first because I have a real news. You're gonna go second because you have real news.
I have good news.
You're good. I don't know how to start.
Hello, this is Josh. This is Austin and Josh.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello, this is Ron Burgundy.
No,
No. Okay.
try again. He's already taken.
Maybe
You said nothing this entire time. You're giving me nothing, Josh. You're giving me nothing.
Nailed it. Hello, this is Josh Robb and Austin Wilson from Hixon Zuercher Capital Management, bringing you 5 things we think you should know for the first quarter of 2021. Austin, what do you have?
5 things each, right?
5 things
Let's
each.
do it.
All right, number 1, global stocks continued to power upward through the quarter from their pandemic lows that we saw last March. So for the quarter, the S&P 500 was up 6.3%. 6.3% is not too bad. Developed international stocks were up 4.5%, and emerging market stocks gained another 4%. Now, put this into context where we came from March 23rd, 2020, the bottom for the market last year. The S&P 500 is up 80.6%. The developed international stocks are up 74.8%, and emerging market stocks are up 74.6%. It was the best one-year return from March 23rd to March 23rd for the S&P 500 since the 30s.
Wow. In other news, local bakers are starting to till up their ground. Their planting season is in way. You know what they're planting?
What?
Flower gardens.
I get what you did there. And next up here, the 10-year Treasury, I know is what you are wondering about. The 10-year Treasury more than tripled from its historic low set last August. And what that caused, because of the inverse relationship between bond prices and yields, to do was that the core bond index fell 3.6% during the quarter, and that was the worst quarter since 1981.
Also, scientists just discovered one thing can fall and never get hurt.
What's that?
Rain. Speaking of rain though, do you know what goes up when rain comes down?
What?
Umbrellas.
Oh man, this guy's full of good news this time. Number 3, substantial progress has been made with the COVID-19 vaccine rollout. More than 93 million Americans have gotten the COVID vaccine so far, and that number is growing every single day. So that is what is going to help the economy continue to reopen.
Also, speaking of planting gardens, you have the raised garden beds, you have it right in the ground. You can also plant them in ponds. The only thing that grows though are watermelons.
Number 4, the Fed continues to reiterate that it is not going to raise interest rates anytime soon. Every time that they're asked, they're pretty much like, no, we're going to let this economy run hot for a while, but they do want some inflation. They just have yet to really see enough to start raising rates yet, and they are doing what's called quantitative easing, which is they're buying fixed income securities in the fixed income market to instill some liquidity and stability in there, and they have to taper that off first. So we are a good ways out before we see interest rate hikes.
And with the vaccines for COVID coming in, there's fewer people in the hospital, which is good. So now birds can get to the hospital. Where else would they get their treatment? Treatment is the noise they make.
And 5, last but not least for me, inflation, like I had mentioned earlier, is at the top of everyone's minds. They're wondering, hey, all this money that's out in the economy from the U.S. and the rest of the world having fiscal stimulus package with trillions of dollars, what is that going to do to prices? Well, it may cause them to rise over time. We have yet to see that really yet, but it could take some time to see whether that will be a short-term spike due to the fiscal policy that went into effect recently, or is that going to be a longer-term trend that we're going to be watching? We don't know yet.
And finally, with spring approaching, people are getting pretty excited. In fact, gardeners are getting so excited they're going to wet their plants. Well, this is Josh Robb and Austin Wilson from Hixon Zuercher Capital Management, wishing you a great start to your spring. And if you have any questions about your investments or would like to talk to a financial advisor about your situation, please give us a call at 419-425-2400. Again, we're wishing you a great start of your spring and have a good rest of the April.
Thank you.